Good morning. November 12th, 8:30 in the morning, Yosemite National Park. Gonna do a relatively easy saunter today on this Sunday. Taft Point, Sentinel Dome, and then Glacier Point. So as the days get shorter, nights get colder, the opportunity to get in the high country in Yosemite goes away. So fortunately, Glacier Point Road as well as Tioga Pass is open at the moment. But my guess is later this week, we're getting some snow, some conditions, they'll shut it, and that may be it for the year. So it was either Mount Dana or this route, and Mount Dana's 13,000 feet. So going from sea level to 13,000 feet in a day may not be one of the best decisions. So I opted for the saunter. So let me show you the trail instead of my old face. Quite the worn trail. A little bit of snow from about 6 days ago. They had shut Glacier Point and Tioga Pass down just for maybe 4 or 5 days, not sure. So, and they opened it up Friday at noon. So coming up here, nice drive. Left around 4:30 this morning. Got to the trailhead at 8:30. Did stop a couple times, and temperature changes quite a bit. So a few miles back on Glacier Point Road, it was 27. Right now it's 35. So, and I am feeling the altitude. The snow is pretty. I'm glad it's not on the trail. I didn't bring my ice axe. 0.6 of a mile to Taft Point. Going slow on the saunter. Yep, 7,800 feet at the moment, and feeling the elevation. 28 minutes into the hike, 1 mile, made it to Taft Point. Wow, what a spectacular point. So I am not looking at the camera, and I'm holding on to this railing, but ooh, that is some incredible views. There's a trickle of Yosemite Falls. Wow, there's El Cap. Holy cow. Wow. And you can see the river down there. Absolutely spectacular. Always got to get the evidence. There's the benchmark and my size 13 Hoka Speed Goat. And here's the drop off. I'm gonna say that's 2,500 feet. You know, it just keeps going. So I'm glad they do have this railing, but it's not much. Just doing a quick pano. I got this place to myself, albeit there's a couple tent campers about 100 yards away. I think they did it right. Different vantage point. A little bit farther to the west. But just what a spectacular view of El Cap. There's people that have climbed that without ropes. All right. on to the next point. It's got up to about 50 degrees, but still in the shade. There's some remnants of the snow from a few days ago. Certainly take it slow. Hour and 20 minutes into the hike, gone 2 miles, but I did walk around Taft Point, and there's Sentinel Dome. So, what a pleasurable trail. I just can't say this is just a view along the trail. Made it to Rosevelt Point. I'm looking in the direction of Taft Point. It's behind that spur, but again, there's El Cap, and off in the distance you see that trickle is Yosemite Falls. So at this the iconic Rosevelt and Mr. John Muir over 100 years ago at this point, walking in their footsteps. Stopping at mile 3, hour and 54 minutes into the hike, looking back, and that is tunnel view right there, just to the right of that rock pinnacle. I stopped there and got a picture, and then you can see the road coming out on the west side, and there is a grade inside that tunnel. Some pretty awesome engineering undertaken well over 100 years ago to build that. So this section of trail is kind of an alternate route. It hugs the edge of the valley. The All Trails route had me going up about a couple 100 yards more up the hill. You kind of miss out on the views. There's Yosemite Falls, and just to the left is the trail, number of switchbacks. That's on the list to do. Stop to identify that trail down there, and you can see it. That is a 4-mile trail, and you know what? It isn't 4 miles. It used to be 4 miles, but it was so steep people kept falling off, so they extended it another 0.8 of a mile. I've done that trail once. It was January 1st, 2012 with my 2 sons, Chris and Nick, Tori and his son, Rod, and Chris. That's when the San Francisco district came to visit Yosemite. That was a great hike. All right, picking up the main trail again. Yeah, that's very nicely maintained, but looking back, certainly got the spectacular views. So there's Sentinel Dome. We're gonna come in from the east and go up the spine. There's the turnoff for Sentinel Dome. Half a mile, but we got some elevation to go up. 4 miles, 2.5 hours, almost to the summit of Sentinel Dome. On the summit of Sentinel Dome. Looking back, that snow-covered peak is Mount Hoffman, and the 2 domes, that's North Dome and Basket Dome. Over to the right, away in the distance, is Mount Lyell, highest point in Yosemite, Mount Clark, Mount Star King, Half Dome, and Clouds Rest. Perfect view of Yosemite Falls. Just a trickle at the moment, and there's the trail to Yosemite Falls. All right, time to head on down. Heading to Glacier Point now. I'm gonna turn the camera off. Mile 5, 3 hours, 10 minutes. Heading to Glacier Point. A little bit of downhill. What goes down must come up. So I'll be backtracking on this. No horses on the pavement. Tie it up. Made it to Glacier Point. Just some spectacular views here. You can see Nevada Falls. Just a trickle. And then there's Half Dome with Clouds Rest behind it. And right there, you can see the trail, Snow Creek. That's a tough one. I always like these terrain maps. Helps you really see what's out there. 4-mile trail. That's 4.8 miles. At the Glacier Point overlook. Another shot of Nevada Falls, Half Dome, and down there is Snow Creek, and let's see, is that Mirror Lake down there? Maybe they don't have too much water, but here we can see that bridge is really the point where you get off to start the John Muir Trail. And so a little bit farther to the right is Happy Isles, and away you go. But absolutely spectacular views. Fortunately, nobody's standing on that cantilevered rock at the moment. And I'm gonna say we're about 2,500 feet up. At the trailhead, did the 4 major features. Now to get back to Taft Point, 3.8 miles. Got a little uphill to do. Let's go. 6.5 miles, 3 hours, 51 minutes. I'm gonna try and drop the hammer the 3 miles to Taft Point. But I got about 700 feet of elevation to go up first. But the trail is smooth. Mile 7, 4 hours, 5 minutes. Still going up. Almost to the high point on the way back. That's Illilouette Valley down there, and Illilouette Creek goes through it. We took that section in May of 2012 to do Half Dome, and we camped just below that granite feature there, and then day hiked to Half Dome. That was a good day. Okay, mostly downhill from here. There's the backside of Sentinel Dome. Nice easy trail here. In fact, it has some old pavement. Glorious day. 8 miles, 4 hours, 24 minutes. Just absolutely spectacular. I can't believe I've never done this trail, nor really thought to look into it, other than Glacier Point, you know, Sentinel Dome, Rosevelt Point, and Taft Point. Never thought much about them, but wow, this is spectacular. Finishing up, awesome day hike in Yosemite, Taft Point, Rosevelt Point, Sentinel Dome, Glacier Point, 8.4 miles, 4.5 hours, 1,800 feet elevation gain. Just absolutely spectacular. So, glad I did this one instead of attempting Mount Dana. Yeah, 13,000 feet from sea level, not a good idea. So, that's on the list. as are many others. Mile marker signing out.